Well, welcome in to the Walther Center for tonight's game, the Whittier College Poets against your West Coast Baptist College Eagles. I'm David Adams, and I'm excited to be sharing this game with you tonight. We've got right at a minute until tip-off, and we'll leave the mics rolling. You'll catch some of the pregame prayer and festivities and announcements of the starting lineup. For Whittier, the starting lineup is going to be led in the backcourt by number 1, Kevin Dobson, a 5'9" senior from Corona, California, bringing his leadership to the floor. Number 2, Amari Smith, and number 5, Kunal Baga, also starting for this team in the backcourt and on the wings. In the front court, 6'5" senior Nick Manor Hall from Chino Hills, California, and 6'8" junior Tyler Waters is going to be leading the front court for Whittier College. We will be back on the other side with your starting lineups for your Eagles. Looking forward to a great game here in the Walther Center tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to the Walther Center for tonight's exciting matchup between the Poets of Whittier College and your West Coast Baptist Eagles. We'd like to welcome the officials for tonight's game, Mr. Tim Johnson, Mr. Ross Charles, and Mr. Glenn Hoskin. Now fans, we ask that you would please rise, and gentlemen, kindly remove your hats as we open tonight's game with a word of prayer, and as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Opening tonight's game with a word of prayer, President of West Coast Baptist College, Dr. Paul Chappell.
Welcome everybody, thanks for coming out early, and welcome Whittier College, we're glad you're here. And let's pray and ask God to bless this game tonight. Our Father in heaven, we know that there is no such thing as a self-made man. You are our creator and our God. And we thank you for the health, even to see these young men play tonight. We pray that you keep them safe. Father, we pray that you bless their coaches, our fans, the referees, that this would just be a wonderful time tonight. And Lord, tonight we want to thank you for your love to us, that you would go to Calvary, that you would suffer there and bleed and die for our sins, that you would raise up on the third day to prove your deity and your love to us. We thank you that you paid such a price. And Father, we ask today that you would help us to honor you in our lifetime. We pray for the peace of Jerusalem tonight. We ask that you would help us in this world to show your love and your grace. And we pray it all in Jesus' name. Amen.
And now, to honor America, please welcome West Coast Baptist College student Tabitha Gayona as she performs tonight's Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes
Ladies and gentlemen, Tabitha Bayona. And now it's time for the starting lineups. Let's meet the poets of Whittier College. Start at guard, a junior from Decatur, Georgia, number 2, Amari Smith. Start at center, junior from Aurora, Colorado, number 22, Tyler Waters. From Corona, California, starting at guard, senior number 1, Kevin Dobson. Starting guard number 5, senior from Anaheim, California, Kendall Pago. And starting at forward from Chino Hills, California, senior number 13, Nick Maynard Hall. And the head coach for the Poets, Willie LeBay. Mike Myers, assistant coach. And Mark Jensen. Eagle fans, it's time to get on your feet. Time to meet the starting lineups for your West Coast Baptist Eagles. Starting at guard, freshman from Fort Morgan, Colorado, number 12, Wesley Cobb. Starting at forward, junior from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 35, junior David Galway. From the great state of Texas, starting at guard, junior number 10, Braxton Boucher. Starting at forward from Marysville, Washington, senior number 15, Zach Brown. And starting at guard from Long Beach, California, senior number 3, Ethan Delaney. And head coach for your Eagles, John Sisson. And assistant coach, Seth Hanna. Eagle fans, it's time for West Coast basketball!
And looking forward to a great game tonight between the Whittier College Poets and your West Coast Baptist College Eagles. A slight change in the starting lineup from the season opener. We've got David Goe, more of a 3-and-D shooting guard kind of player, as opposed to the lengthy Zach Clay at 6'4", the tallest player in the Eagles rotation. And so West Coast looking to match a little bit of the quickness and the speed that they are anticipating Whittier bringing to the court. There's going to certainly be eyes on the 6'8" player, Tyler Waters, the 6'5" Nick Manor Hall here in the starting lineup. And yet the Eagles think that they are going to be good to go with this one here. After a deflection, we are working on the shot clock here. And some technical difficulties here. Eagles get that reset out to 30, and Whittier is going to take that on the baseline. And all of that is set. We're ready to go. Scoreless here in the first couple of seconds, but let's see if number 13, Nick Manor Hall, not quite able to get that one to fall, and Bosher is going to bring that up the court. Bit of pressure by Amari Smith. Now Zach Brown bringing it down inside. Wesley working around, looking for some help here. Swinging it around the perimeter. Wesley going to be just an inch or two short on that one. And it's coming back down in the Poets' direction. High pick and roll. And a tough drive, a tough finish.
Black, right here,
That is going to rim out, but that will give the Poets a chance to open the scoring for tonight from the charity stripe. Number 15, Zach Brown, getting rung up for that. Number 13, Nick Manor Hall, going to the line for Whittier. Splash is the first, and that's going to be our first points from either side today. Listed at 6'5" in our program, Tyler Waters. Listed at 6'8". Going to be some length the Eagles are going to have to deal with. The Eagles will hope that they can create problems with a bit more guard-heavy lineup of their own. Bosher over to Ethan, and that's going to get tipped away, but Goe able to hold on to it for now, and a good pass now to Wesley. Now that's going to just be a little too strong. Got a full head of steam going into that. Whittier pulling up, and that's going to be a bit deep. Wesley Carnes, the freshman from Fort Morgan, Colorado, coming away with that. Goe, a nice incisive pass. Ethan, Braxton, Zach from the corner, and that is almost going to fall for the first Eagles bucket. It is 1-0 here in the early going. A nice pass up top. Eagles concerned about Waters as the roll man, but Whittier showing that they're comfortable shooting from outside, although we have yet for this possession to turn into points. Goe coming away with the steal. Now up to Bosher. He's going to finish that one. Went up. Was thinking dunk, at least for part of it, but ended up with the gentle finish and the 2 points. Braga over to Amari Smith, who is not able to get that to go. Ethan now looking at the left over to Brown, and nutmegs his defender, although that was probably more about that being deflected away from him. Wesley came out to try to get set in time. He wasn't able to get that. That's going to get rung up against him. Second foul for the Eagles here in the early going.
Going to line for the Poets, number 2, Amari Smith.
And Smith will go to the line here to try to even the game or retake the lead. And he's going to splash that one. The junior from Georgia. Evening the score line here for the Poets here in the early going. Now's a chance to put them ahead about 2.5 minutes into the game. And he'll do that. Grazes the inside of the rim there, but not really in doubt. And that'll make it 3-2. Whittier. Baga coming up for a double team. And they kind of sprung that on the Eagles there a bit. Smith takes the direct line to the basket. Ethan thought that he'd maybe gotten away with a clean contest, but not in the ref's opinion there. And Smith has just made 2. Now we'll have an opportunity to push the lead out even further. Rattles the first in. And we'll see if this is something that the Whittier College Poets work on throughout the course of the night. It looked like Wesley was anticipating the pressure from his direct marker. And that one's going to bounce out. Brown with the board over to Braxton. But Whittier looking at springing some traps. And so West Coast even responding here, putting all of their off-ball players down onto the baseline. Bit of miscommunication on the pass. Zach looking down to the corner. Braxton coming up. And Wesley and now Ethan bringing some pressure, at least something for the Poets to think about. And that's going to get back to Dobson over here, now to Baga. Amari Smith, a little bit of a rush finish there. Bosher with a full head of steam and is able to just lay that up over the top to tie the score here. About 3.5 minutes in, it's 4-4. West Coast and Whittier with nothing between them in the early going. Amari cross court and a good contest by Goe. Delaney comes down with it, looking for Braxton here. Now Wesley, who is going to lay that up and in himself. And after both sides have struggled a little bit for points here in the early going, all of Whittier's points coming from the line. The Eagles with only 2 points in about the first 3 minutes and some. But back-to-back nice finishes are going to put the Eagles up 6-4 here with just under 4 minutes played already in this one. Number 25, Tanner Thompson from Seattle, just came to the scorer's table. He'll be coming in for Whittier after this timeout, it seems. As well as number 11, Ignacio Bettinelli, looking to come in as well. Both of them 6'5". It'll be interesting if Coach Jensen for Whittier is subbing out Nick Manor Hall and Tyler Waters, the starting front court, or if he is going to level up with even more size, even more length, and really try to punish a West Coast team that as of right now is not even playing at their longest. So we'll see if this is a like-for-like substitution or a little bit of change of pace. Give West Coast something to deal with. And we've got some fans here in the stands. The 5 o'clock tip, not the norm for most West Coast games. Dinner usually running about 5:30 to 6. And so we'll probably see some more students in the stands in the second half here. But, you know, the guys on the court are going to want to keep that momentum going until they get there. And we don't normally see West Coast bring a whole lot of backcourt pressure as it pertains to their defense. Normally it's just kind of get set in the half court and let it play out from there. But in the second trip down the floor where we're seeing a little bit more of that. And Thompson is going to get that over to Baga. Braxton almost with the steal. Now Dobson working his way through. Tanner Thompson comes in and makes an immediate impact off the bench, tying up the score at 6 apiece. And now we've got Dobson coming with the trap. Bosher finds Delaney. Goe in the corner, working it out. Bosher, and he is going to pick up a foul call there. Thompson right in the thick of things, both on the offensive and defensive ends. But looks like his hands just got away from him there. And that's going to be the first foul against Whittier so far. But a nice clean game. Even West Coast's foul calls, nothing too crazy, just good contests at the rim and on drives. And Bosher to Goe in the corner. And that one's going to be just a little bit deep. Thompson now with the board. Dobson. And the break is away. But West Coast doing a good job to get set. Brown with some good defense. Thompson gets blocked. And Carnes running. Bosher almost with the finish, but not able to get that one there. Good active hands on defense. Good job pushing the pace by the Eagles, forcing Whittier to have just a bit of something to think about there on that transition opportunity. And West Coast, so far in the early going, no substitutions for them. We had 2 just a second ago and have 2 more now, with the junior guard Roy Kalu and the freshman, Sean Cervantes, coming into this game. And so 4 out of 5 substituted for Whittier already. West Coast staying with their original starters. We'll see if that's a sign of things to come. But West Coast sticking with this press right now. And this one is going to get up ahead to Nick Manor Hall. Really one of the tallest players on the court right now, and yet comfortable shooting the three. Didn't go in for him there. Wesley Carnes tries to answer, does not go in for him there either. Cervantes to the rim. Carnes not able to get the block. And Delaney with an open opportunity takes that half beat to settle and get that one in. Just kind of got behind the defense. The coaches were calling that out on the Poets sideline, but not able to get the guys back in time. David Goe creating pressure in the passing lane. And that one's going to head back Eagles direction. 5.5 minutes in. Eagles 10, Whittier 8. Bosher to Goe.
Eagles basketball.
And players jumping in the passing lanes. Really a bit more pressure by both sides. Full court so far. And makes it an interesting game. A lot of end-to-end action available in the early going here. Carnes working through players. Bosher comes away with that and is able to kick that one out. Delaney gets in the way and now tries to work his way through contact and is going to be able to pick up a foul call for that. It's going to be 3-3 in terms of whistles against each team so far. 10-8 in terms of points. Eagles leading. We've got 14-12 left in the first half here. Ethan wasn't ready for that one. It didn't look like, at least at the very beginning, but able to come away with that one, and that's going to head back the Poets' direction. Beat his man off the dribble, but it got away from him a little bit as he was heading towards the bucket. Cervantes over to Halou. Bench players working it around here in the early going. Again, 13, Nick Manor Hall down with the ball now. The one starter in the game. And assistant coach Seth Hanna on the sideline, immediately pointing at his feet. He saw something. Maybe he had seen a little slide or shuffle or something like that, but was calling for the travel almost before it even happened. Good awareness from him. Great cross-court pass by Braxton. A little bit short by Zach Brown from the short corner. And that's going to head down Whittier's direction. Bettinelli getting the ball and so far been more of a facilitator for the team. Into Thompson, now over to Bettinelli. Fumbles a little bit on the catch, but a nice cross-court pass. Halou thought about that a little bit there. And they're going to ring up Delaney on that one.
Delaney. Second personal foul.
Something like personal space infringement on the closeout or something like that. Certainly wasn't as the shot was going up. But you've got to give him
for the Eagles,
place
number
to
30,
be able
Lance Spear.
to come down, and that might be what the ref was calling for there. First substitute in the game so far, number 30, Lance Figg from Bridgeport, Michigan. Checks in for Ethan Delaney after Ethan's second whistle. Braxton facing a bit of pressure, able to work his way past that. Cross court now to Figg. And it's great to see some of these freshmen on the team earning early minutes, early trust by the coaches. Zach Brown on the other end of his time at West Coast is one of the seniors leading this team with a bit more experience in that sense.
Zach Brown.
But as is always the case with these teams, you've got that mix of freshmen finding a way to contribute in their first opportunity, seniors who have played for a couple of years finding ways to chip in. It's great to see. Tyler Waters, the 6'8" center from Aurora, Colorado. Comes in. Brown not able to hit the second. Eagles up 1 here in the early going. Cervantes out to the corner. Bettinelli thinks about it. And now the ball finds its way back to Cervantes. Goes around the pick.
Offensive foul.
And
Eagles basketball.
On Tyler Waters
First personal
is
foul.
first. And speaking of first-time players, not a freshman, but sophomore Austin Pace in his first year on the team. He just checks in right now for Zach Brown. Coach has been playing him in the front court so far. And so one of our smaller lineups, Carnes listed at 5'10", Bosher 6'1", Fig 5'10", Pace 6 foot, Goe 6'1", and so making sure to contest as a team, rebound as a team. Bosher gets it, looking away. Can he put it down? And he does so. And everyone in the building was thinking dunk when Braxton got that breakaway after he put down the hammer in the first game of the season. But Whittier with composure coming right back down, getting 2 points, getting that ball through the net. Fig now to Carnes. And a nice pass here. Braxton now settling it. He's got a height advantage. Let's see if he takes advantage of that. Wesley working his way around. Pace. And
violation. Whittier basketball.
as he got back up with it, looked like his foot just maybe slipped a bit on the court, but ended up getting rung up for that one. Cervantes now to Bettinelli, who's going to work it around to Kalu. Takes it inside. And Bosher gets whistled there. It's 13-12 here. 11:28 left in the first half of this one.
Whittier, number 3, Roy Kalu.
And Coach Sisson sends Zach Clay to the line. Kalu hits from the free throw line to tie this game at 13. And Goe coming off. Bushy thought it might have been him at first, but with no one over 6'1" in this current lineup, and with some height on the court for the Poets, Coach Sisson looking for a little something there. But with a lot of guards available, Carnes taking that one bravely through a thicket of arms, but not able to get it to fall. Cervantes now, and he stutter stepped as he was gathering up to swing that into the corner. And that's going to get called there. It doesn't feel like any of the calls have been wrong, but we've seen a couple more whistles for traveling than we might always get in the early going. Something the refs are certainly keeping an eye on tonight. Some full court pressure by Morgan Cox. It was just one-on-one for the moment. Bosher calls a timeout. Some presence of mind to get out of that one, but felt like they were a bit stuck. Coach Sisson immediately coming over to Lance Fig and coaching him up there a little. And so it seems like Coach Sisson maybe thought that the press was supposed to be a trigger for some of the other Eagles to come in to the play. Didn't look like Braxton had a pass around him at the moment. And so he was kind of looking for something a bit more incisive, but figured the timeout was the safe course of play. A little miscommunication from both sides potentially. Coach Sisson now making sure everyone's on the same page as they have been going back and forth with Whittier here. It's 14-13 with 11:07 left in the first half. Whittier taking the lead after it's been really, I think, within 2 points all the way through. First read looked like it was to Carnes, and then Fig ending up with it now over the top. Braxton gets it into Clay, and that one's going to be goaltending. Up above the rim. Looked like that one it was potentially even already coming off the backboard. Good presence of mind after it looked like the Eagles might get stuck in the backcourt after having some issues getting it across the halfway line. And yet a good pass up to Braxton. He found Clay well there. Great shot by Kalu. And we've got a lot of players in the backcourt now. Clay serving as a bit of a safety valve. And that one is going to be a travel against Carnes. Looked like he was able to kind of get almost the reverse spin, but a bit more defensive contact. Tripped up a little bit of the cadence he was setting his defender up with. Kalu scored on the last time down. Gets the ball hit there by Bosher. Good active hands. And Bosher's going to come away with that after the corner three is not going to fall. Carnes over the top, a little Willie Mays catch there. Fig now looks back to Wesley, and the Eagles going to reset this one. Good presence of mind. No need to throw something up without having a good, clean look. Lance liked his look there, and that three is not going to go. Really not too much so far in terms of three-point success. Whittier hitting from three is almost one of the first with it. And Bosher gathering there. Refs didn't call a travel on that one as they ruled he didn't have possession. But he knew that he had to hold that one there. Austin Pace with the offensive board over the longer arms of Whittier, but not quite able to get that one to fall. And a tough rebounding battle is not going to go West Coast's way a couple of times. It hasn't cost us points yet. And Carnes is going to get that one away, but that one is going to get thrown off of Zach Clay.
Eagles basketball.
And the Eagles delaying any scores. We'll see if they can come away with a stop.
He's
He's going to stay with Whittier. Wesley Carnes coming off and Lance Fig coming off. And it looks like, and Braxton Bosher as well. We're sorting out some of the substitutions there, but getting some fresh legs in for the Eagles. 19-15 Whittier in the early going. And Pace pulling up from three, just a little deep there. Brown, Zach Clay, forcing a sprint for the loose ball. But that one is going to stay heading in the Poets' direction. Kevin Dobson running things, bringing it up the court. The Eagles settling back into half-court pressure. Whittier been pretty comfortable all game long, pushing that to full-court kinds of pressure. And yet the Eagles going back to half-court here. Ethan working his way around, getting it to David. That's some presence of mind, as there were three Poets coming down. Number 33 now to Amari Smith. And this one's gotten to a 9-point margin. The pace of play is really picking up here as Whittier keeps running out reserves in order to try to keep the pressure cranked up on the Eagles. Eastep been a big part of it the last couple of minutes. And good deflection at least by Delaney. Delaney working his way in. Gets that one over, but not able to get that one through. Austin Pace on the other side of the lane. And a swarm of arms there. And both sides diving for it. Contact all the way through that one, but nothing that got whistled up. And Pace right in the middle of things, able to get that heading back the Eagles' direction. It's a close game for sure still, but it's really feeling like the pressure that Whittier has kept cranking up all the way from inbounds from the Eagles' baseline is starting. Oh, and a student there almost swishing that from Chick-fil-A. that full court pressure is starting to wear on the Eagles. They've got players who can handle it, and yet you need that kind of five-man mindset and five-man communication to be able to handle a concentrated press like that. And after being able to work through it early, the Eagles struggling with it over the last couple of possessions, that's led to a 9-point margin here after it had been within a possession all the way through the first 10 minutes or so. With 7:41 left in the first half, the score is Whittier College Poets 24, West Coast Baptist College Eagles 15. And Coach Sisson is leaving just about the same lineup in. And so some of the players like Braxton Bosher or Wesley Carnes, who certainly handle a lot of ball handling responsibility for the Eagles, not on the court at this second. But you've got guys like Austin Pace kicking it out to David Goey there, some secondary ball handlers who are able to do some of that work. Goey getting down on defense. It's going to be out in the corner to Baga, and that one's not going to fall, but immediately a double team thrown at Delaney. David able to corral that one. Goes inside. Little up and under, and is able to get that one to the whistle. And Ethan going to the line here, a chance to stop a bit of bleeding for the Eagles over the last couple of possessions. Earn some points from the line. Get their defense set. And Wesley Carnes coming in now for Zach Clay. And really coming out of the timeout, Coach Sisson with a chance to get his lineup set. And then Wesley coming to the scorer's table almost instantly after that timeout. You might have seen something from Coach Jensen on the opposite side of this court that he wanted to respond to right away. E-step from three, bit short, but that one is going to become a second chance opportunity. Delaney working through, finds Goey, who's now going to have to push the pace a bit here, and is able to get that one across. Good presence of mind by Goey. And that one's going to slide out and turn back around the Poets' direction. Baga and Dobson in the backcourt. Eagles settling back into that half-court pressure. Looks like we're looking at more of a man setup here. You step up to Dobson up top. And we're going to see that mid-range jump shot by Amari Smith. Gets another opportunity. Delaney been cleaning up on the boards tonight. And just a little bit of miscommunication almost cost the Eagles, but Goey doing more ball handling and progression here. And that was a good thought by Zach Brown. You got to make sure your man is ready to receive, but he knew the defense would be collapsing on him. And some crafty play to try to get that one out to someone with a little less in the way of defensive attention. E-step looking for the backdoor cut, but got caught up as he did so, and that pass sailing out of bounds. Brown now into Lance Figg, who just checked in, across the half-court line to Delaney, who is able to gather it here, but looking for someone. Figg presents himself. Carnes for three, and a little bit deep on that one. Brown not able to come down with the offensive board. And Baga working his way down to Dobson in the corner. Shakes Brown up top now, back to Baga. And that one is going to get rung up on Zach Brown. The second defender over. Carnes, I believe the man in that play originally. But anytime you can keep pushing it to the rim, you're going to attract additional defensive attention. A little dream shake, but that one's not going to quite fall. Fig to Delaney. A lot of pressure here. Again, we've kept mentioning that, but it's really been the story of the game in terms of the Whittier game plan. Delaney working up top here. Fig back to Delaney. Tries to get through, and a tangle of arms and legs. And this game has gotten a little chaotic, really moving in both directions. Fig now to Carnes, working against, for the moment, only number 2 Amari Smith. Fig gets across half court to Goe in the corner. Now back out. And Carnes with that quick trigger, but that one's going to be just a little bit deep. Baga now working up from the left himself and trying to get an isolation against the freshman. Delaney going to go up, and no foul call despite the contact. He said he was just staying vertical with it. A good, clean contest. Carnes working inside, and the larger Nick Manor Hall is going to just about get that ball away, but an elbow comes in.
Foul number 12 for Whittier.
And didn't seem like, you'd certainly hope no, ill intent there, but especially with the height disparity, Wesley's head was going to be in about that elbow range if he was staying aggressive, staying physical as he was. And so that's going to get him cracked there a little bit. But the Eagles are going to hold on to possession here. Bosher coming back in, inbounding it from the baseline, right out to Goe, who gets it right back to Braxton. Wesley now working around, and Braxton coming in. That one's going to be well contested by Nick Manor Hall. Braxton with a full head of steam. The larger Nick Manor Hall coming across there, and a great battle. Braxton to the corner, and that one's going to be up and in. Lands Fig for 3, finding ways to contribute, and Whittier sprints right back down, puts that one in. We've got 28-20 here with just under 4 minutes left in this half. Fig just out, and some passes there. Eagles trying to hold on to it, but we've got Kunal Baga going to be bringing this one back up. Works around a pick and gets all the way down, and just a little bit of miscommunication about exactly who that was going to, and it would be a great dunk attempt if that had gone through the hoop. One of the best parts of any dunk. David clears for a 3 and not able to get that one. And so this is going to be going back and forth here with no real points from the last couple of trips down. And yet Kunal is going to get that one down and in. 3 minutes left in the first half. 30-20. Whittier is going to be out in the lead so far. And Thompson gets that one to gracefully roll across the rim to his teammate, who will then finish. And that one looked like it hurt, as a couple of Poets all charging into the play ended up taking each other out. Amari Smith pushing the pace, then getting a chance to go to the line.
First personal foul.
And Fig is going to get one up on the other
number
end.
2, Amari Smith.
Looked like just about gotten his feet set, but maybe half a beat late there. Smith going to the line with a chance to push this lead even higher. That'll be 33-20. Poets pulling out into the lead. with one more shot to go. And Sean Cervantes coming into this game, as well as Ignacio Bettinelli. Smith misses. That one's going to get tipped back out by Tanner Thompson and will stay. And we've got some work on the shot clock here. And this will be on the side. Whittier inbounding, specifically number 3, Roy Kalu. And we've got 17 left on the shot clock, 2:31 left in the half. Thompson taking it up top now with Cervantes surveying. Baga finds Thompson. Thompson not able to hold on to that one. And he's had good energy here in the early going, but a couple of times that some things have slid away from his grasp. Carnes and Bosher in the backcourt, working to bring this one up. Working it back and forth between them, just trying to draw out some of that defensive pressure. Baga going to jump into the passing lane, not able to get a hand on it, but is going to kick that one on out. Bosher working from the side. Delaney comes out and gets it. And immediately back to Braxton, who's working downhill. Ethan up and in despite some pressure right on his back. And a good finish. Eagles are then going to have Baga hit from pretty far outside. And working through some shot clock details. Bosher to Carnes, they have 3 to get across. And back to Braxton up top here against Bettinelli. Now Carnes against Kalu. Going in the corner. Threes haven't been kind to the Eagles here so far. Kalu, good presence of mind. Wesley right there on him, providing some pressure. That's going to be 38-22 Eagles. But it's felt like their looks have been pretty good. Not too many that have just been firing it up for the sake of it. Brown with one of the quicker triggers we've seen tonight, but he had the space, he had the opportunity. But with Baga hitting threes on multiple recent trips down the court, you know the Eagles are going to be looking for some of that in the second half, especially to be able to punish an aggressive defense. Delaney with a little stop and go, able to get another opportunity from the line. And we've got Austin Pace coming in for Zach Brown. Both sides downsizing a little bit from some of their early going lineups. That's a relative term. We've got guys like the 6'4" listed Morgan Cox, the 6'5" Ignacio Bettinelli in the game right now for the Poets. But even those players are a little bit more perimeter oriented than maybe someone like Tyler Waters, their tallest player. Kalu working to Thompson. Thompson now looking around against Pace and is able to get that one to go. Bosher to Delaney, and the presence of mind to pull that one back down. Didn't feel like he had enough to be able to go up with that. Carnes working against Cervantes, and they're going to get a whistle there. Cervantes got beat off the dribble and not able to catch back up. 43-24. Eagles started strong, struggled a bit here in what would more or less be the second quarter, but Carnes with a chance to hit from the line, as he'll do with his first. And so with 13.3 here You doubt that the Poets are going to try to particularly push this one. More likely to try to hold this all the way till the end of the half. Go away trying to bring some pressure here. Comes back over to Morgan Cox. Now to Kalu. Out to Cervantes. And that one, Carnes is going to get an arm in there. It didn't look intentional at all. His head was away, but the refs saw him closing out on it, didn't think that he'd pulled up quite enough from their perspective, and so we've got 1.1 left. Cervantes with a chance to add 3 from the charity stripe. Cervantes hits the second and will have a chance to get all 3, just to do it one at a time. 1.1 seconds left here. You're looking for maybe a quick inbounds to someone like Braxton or Wesley, and to try to do it with, and that one, little miscommunication on it. Morgan Cox is going to end up with that one and misses to end the first half. Whittier College Poets 46, West Coast Baptist College Eagles 26. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with some first half stats, analysis, and a chance to talk a little bit more about this game.
McDonald's meals, 52 meals to McDonald's tonight. All you have to do is get a full court shot, full court putt specifically. So the ball is not a basketball tonight, it is a golf ball. And so if you're interested, come on down to this side of the court, line up, we got the golf clubs, we got the golf balls. Listen very closely to the rules tonight. The middle hole right under the hoop is going to be the hole. If you get the ball in that hole, you will win a year's supply of McDonald's tonight that I hold in my hand. The other 4, there are 2 on each side of that middle one. If you get it in one of those, you will go home with Chick-fil-A tonight as well. So any of those 4, 2 on each side, Chick-fil-A, the middle hole is for a year's supply of McDonald's. So let's hear it for our golf pros tonight. Here we go, we're gonna start with Ty. We'll just go all the way down the line. If you miss, you can go back to the end of the line if you'd like to try again. And so we have the next few minutes to see who can win this tonight. Let's hear it for Ty. Ty, give us your best shot. Here we go. Let's get the next ball in place. Oh man, good try. Thank you, sir. Come on down. Anywhere you want, anywhere you want. Let's keep it moving. Next one. This is going to take forever here. It's still moving. It's still moving. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work, Bronson. Thank you. Thank you, though. Next! All right, we got some power behind that one. Oh, great try. Next up. Here we go. Oh. Oh man, that was close enough. I will give you Chick-fil-A for that one. That was close enough. Great job. Here we go. Let's keep going. And very close. Not quite there. Next.
aiming for that middle one. Brady's got control over this one. And not quite there, not quite there. Eric, let's see what you got. Impressive. So close. Oh, so far we got one guy from Chick-fil-A, but we still got some time. Here he goes, the Sean Reeder. Oh man, great job, Jared. Here we go. Oh. Great at this. Great job. Next try. We just need to move the hole right there in that section. Seems like you guys keep going there. It's a slant in the court. That's what it is. It's a slant in the court. Were you aiming at that one, or? Oh! Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. Come on, Ben. Oh! So close tonight. Oh! That was closer than some others. Here we go. Oh. You guys are doing well. Let's keep it going. Just a few more tries before we end it tonight. This year's supply of McDonald's can be for any one of you. Whoa! That was amazing. Give her a hand, Chick-fil-A. Wow, that was the most power we've seen through this whole competition right here. That was awesome. Here we go. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. Not quite. Just a few more contestants. Oh man. Very good try. Let's keep it going, Nathan. Oh. 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 Oh man. That was great. We got 5 more contestants tonight. 5 more before we close up shop. There we go. That's how I play golf. Just hit it. Here we go. Here we go. Great try. 3 more guys. 3 more guys. Oh, let's try it again. There we go. Oh! Oh! That was a good swing right there. Oh, so close. Great job. 2 more guys. 2 more guys. Oh, we can bring it up, Caleb. All right, 3 more. We got to hurry it up here. Oh! 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 Wow! Oh, man. You deserve some Chick-fil-A for that one. See me afterwards. Obviously some Chick-fil-A for that one. That was impressive. great job. And Caleb's going to finish it up for us. Oh. Ooh. Oh. Awesome job. Give these guys a hand. Great job. There should be 3 of those contestants fighting me for your Chick-fil-A. Great job tonight, guys. Let's cheer on our Eagles to victory tonight.
Well, welcome back to the second half here in the Walther Center. A couple of stats from the first half. Whittier College led in the scoring department by Kunal Baga with 12 points, 11 for Roy Kalu. In terms of rebounds, pretty even across the team. Tyler Waters, 6 in just under 11 minutes of play time, which really is just about where everyone's been. No player playing more than 11 minutes and 21 seconds. Meanwhile, all 5 of the Eagles starters above that number, with 4 players, Ethan, Braxton, Wesley, and David, all over 15 minutes. And so the Eagles been relying on the starters here in the early going. Between the two sides, shooting 5 of 32 between the Eagles and the Poets collectively from 3 in the first half, with the Eagles themselves being 1 of 16 from outside. And so whatever exactly it is, it really does feel like most of the looks have been relatively open, relatively well-timed. Goe hitting the deck there before the Poets get just their 5th J of the night. And yet the Eagles 1 of 16 from 3, 14 turnovers to 4 assists. And as much as anything, that tells the story of what's gone wrong in the first half. A lot has gone right. Good effort on both ends of the floor. Braxton and Ethan, both 3 of 4 from the field. Both hit 2 free throws, leading the way with 8 points for the Eagles. But at the same time, 1 of 16 from outside, 14 turnovers to 4 assists is just going to be tricky to really get on the positive side of the scoreboard like that. And that's, unfortunately for the Eagles in the early going, something that they have certainly seen here. Baga now working over to Smith. Smith with the turnover. Braxton now working. Wesley back out to Braxton with an opportunity to make something happen. David from the corner gets his feet set. And that one's just going to be a bit deep here. Baga from 3. And that one's going to come up over the backboard. We haven't mentioned anything about it on this broadcast, I don't think, so far tonight, specifically. But this is a back-to-back game for the Eagles. And so I wonder if you're just seeing a little bit of dead legs here. Braxton with a great aggressive drive there. And a chance at an and one play for Braxton Bosher here. Puts his head down and gets to the rim. You wonder if it is, to some extent, a reflection of some tired legs, not maybe as much depth for the Eagles as some of the teams that they face, and so their starters do have to play a lot of minutes. Braxton converts to and one. And we're seeing a little bit of that playing out here tonight. Baga working against Carnes. And good noise by the students here. A nice pass into the far corner. And a nice pass by way of missed shot. Ethan almost wrong hands it with the left. A really nice finish there. Eagles getting some momentum here, 49-33. 16 points, certainly not a great margin, but you got to start somewhere. And they're going to call a foul against David Goe. David's listed at 6'1". Tyler Waters, the junior center for Whittier, listed at 6'8". And you just kind of got to get physical when that's the matchup you're facing. It's tough to find the right balance, but the refs are looking for that. And Smith is going to get that one to go. Carnes to Delaney to Goe for 3. And Zach Brown comes up and gets it. But but wasn't able to work his way around Amari Smith in the air. Brown is going to draw the foul there and give the Eagles a chance down from the baseline. And that one's going to be a turnover, a little 2-on-2 break. And the third man in, Nick Manor Hall, able to put that one down. And the Eagles able to break the press there. And yet we're going to end up back on the side after some shot clock issues. Braxton and Wesley adjusting their margins here, be able to try to open up some space against Amari Smith. Braxton now working good efficiency in the first half just in terms of his shooting percentage. Go-away going to be short on that. Brown gets that one up and in. Good offensive board and putback. And he's been active here in the early going. Not as tall as some of the Whittier front line, but finding a way to play big and contribute. Dobson out to Smith, pulling up for a long two. And a foul on a jumper. A little bit like the end of the first half there. Getting in his landing zone as the ref points down
Number 15, Brown.
to his foot.
Third personal foul.
Amari
Goes
Smith,
to line for the Poets, number 2.
2 of
Amari
10 in
Smith.
the first half.
2 shots.
Leading field goal attempter on either side. Not able to quite get it to fall, but his shot has looked good, and he's made some effective plays for Whittier at times. Delaney, the outlet, Baga now coming back, trying to not give the Eagles anything too easy. But it's going to be to no avail there specifically. Brick free throw, and yet a series of offensive boards gives Smith a chance for not 1 but 2. Carnes now to Delaney. Baga tipping it out. Good effort, and we've got Braxton bringing it in from the side. Some one-on-one press. Carnes able to work around Dobson. And now Carnes is going to slip. That one's going to get tied up for a jump ball.
Possession goes to Whittier.
And Whittier is going to come away from this one with the ball. We've gotten it to 16. It's out to 21. And so it's 56-35. About 3.5 minutes here into the second half. And back out. Good awareness by Baga, just kind of switching the direction of his drive after Braxton read where the pick and roll was going to go. Some good movement by Whittier, but not able to convert that into a shot attempt before the travel. And by my count, that's the 5th of the night between both sides. Braxton now with the ball, working against Smith. We get a bit of a lane. Now go away over, and that's going to get tipped up. Nick Manor Hall comes down with it and puts that one home. Bosher working up, kind of able to split a bit of a soft double team there. Carnes, Brown.
Out of bounds, Whittier basketball.
And this one's going to be going back to Whittier after the out of bounds by the Eagles. And it's tough when you get down because you really feel like you've got to press to get the game back at least on some level. Braxton with the turnover and a nice finish. An and one there, and that's the kind of play that you're going to want to see from the Eagles here. But you feel like you've got to press a little bit. You got to make positive plays. You can't keep the margin the same when you're down. But the awareness by Braxton Bosher on the defensive end of the floor Good defense leading to good offense, and now for an and one opportunity. We didn't mention him coming in, but number 12, number 21, David Adlet, in the game for the first time for the Eagles, trying to give some wing defense, and a pass that tried to thread the needle. Looked like it almost hit a couple of Eagles' hands on the way, but nothing happening there. Adlet a little bit deep, and now this is going to be out on the run for Whittier. Bosher slowing his man down. Dobson now trying to work through the press, and Smith is going to get the shot, and a late whistle coming in. Ethan Delaney, and that one is going to be his third
personal foul.
15:02 left in the second half. You don't know if coach is going to leave him in, kind of let him work through it. He did that some in the opening game. Ethan was able to do so effectively, but can be tricky. We've got a couple of subs we mentioned in the first half. Whittier willing to sub 2 or even 3 players at once. A couple have already come in. We've got one coming in for the shooter, if he's able to sink that one as he ends up doing. It's going to be 60-38 with the Poets pulling away from the Eagles. Braxton facing up the press. Number 11, Ignacio Bettinelli, 6'5" junior from San Jose. And Braxton gets that one to go.
Braxton,
and saw a matchup he likes. I don't think I've seen Bettinelli picking up Bosher so far here tonight. Maybe trying a little bit of a change up for some length to try to bother Braxton. But if anything, he felt more comfortable against the taller man. He felt like his speed and change of direction could set up Bettinelli in order to work his way downhill all the way to the hoop. Score is 60-40. 15 minutes or so left here in the second half. 5 fouls on Whittier here in just over 5 minutes to play in the second half. And so they're going to have to be careful here to keep the Eagles from having an opportunity to trim that margin down at the line. Yet the Eagles are really going to need a bit of a change in their jump shooting to really be able to draw this one closer. A tough first half, only 31% from the field, only 6% from distance. And so we'll see how the Eagles are able to do in their comeback opportunity. We've got pretty much the starters out here, except with a different David. We've got Adlet instead of Goe. Braxton sinking the and one. I think he's converted all of his and one opportunities so far. Cervantes to Bettinelli, looking around, and some soft pressure coming behind him, but Cervantes able to work it out. A little unintentional shot attempt, Braxton, and saw David there, but perhaps thought the defender was hanging back a little bit too far, trying to stay back in the middle, and forced him to commit. It's going to end up with Braxton being the one going to the line. Slightly to the left there, that'll roll around and out. but he's going to splash the second for at least 1 point on that trip down the floor. Eagles kind of using a triangle full court press. Now Kalu working, and Delaney's going to pick up his 4th. And Coach Sisson looks at that, immediately turns to the bench, and is thinking about this one. And now Austin Pace going to the scorer's table. Manor Hall not able to get it. Out of Braxton in the corner to Kalu, out to Zach, and that one's going to be shorted. Cervantes working his way down. We've got 3-on-2, and a bit of an alley-oop opportunity. Ends up with the tip. Carnes pushing it down. Idlet now up and just a little short himself, not able to get that one quite over the rim. Good job running the floor by both players. And that one's going to be flushed by Tyler Waters. And good presence of mind by both sides. The Eagles staying in this game, making some runs, some of the and-one opportunities, certainly trying to fight their way back in. And yet Whittier also with the presence of mind to be able to push back. Keep the margin around where it's been since the late first half. Carnes going to the line for 2. West Coast now going to have bonus opportunities, as that was the 7th foul for Whittier. 13-24. A lot of second half left to play. But West Coast going to need to start creating something on some of these possessions. Wesley hits that again. Let Bosher and Carnes in the backcourt. Let almost getting a hand high enough to pick off that pass from Cervantes. Now Bettinelli working to Thompson. Braxton providing some high pressure. But the pick works around. Cervantes to Kalu. Contest by Idlet. That's going to be too deep. But it bounces perfectly for the shortest man on the floor to pull down that offensive rebound. That one just dropped right in for him. And now Sean Cervantes going to push that one over to the corner. Morgan Cox not able to get that one to go. And Carnes ends up with the board. Now Bosher working his way up, and that one just got away from him. Bettinelli gets it, and with one of the Poets running free, Braxton with only 1 foul here so far makes a tactical decision to take that one there. Pace comes in, spells a couple of minutes. Now David Goa back in. Coach Sisson mixing and matching, looking to have his guys play at 100% all the time that they're out there, knowing that hopefully someone's going to be coming in for him in just a couple of minutes. Thompson is able to get the offensive board and the putback bucket. Bosher working his way over, some soft pressure. Cervantes backs off. Now Idlet out to Goe. And some good ball movement, but good defensive composure as well. We got 11 on the shot clock. Braxton is going to get that one. Attempts to go high off the glass. Struggled a little on the specific angle there, in part because of
the Eagles with 2 shots. Braxton Bosher.
With 12 minutes and 4 seconds left in the second half, it's 66 for Whittier, 44 for West Coast. Braxton going to the line for 2. Splashes that.
Checking back into the Eagles, number 30, Lance Fig.
And now Lance Fig coming in for David. first player off the bench in the first half. Now there's already been some chopping and changing here in the second, as we're looking for the right matchup.
Full timeout.
66-46, Whittier here. Certainly a back and forth game, but we've seen a really, that kind of second quarter essentially almost completely belonged to Whittier, especially as they cranked up the full court defensive pressure. And that's been the big differentiator in this one so far. Coach Sisson coaching the guys, and especially early in the season, you never want to get too in your head about where the score is at any given moment. Because for some of these guys, hey, maybe the score is or isn't insurmountable. Who knows? But these are some of their first live game reps, and no matter how hard Coach Sisson pushes them in practice, it's just a different kind of atmosphere. It's just a different kind of energy when you're actually playing a game speed opponent. And so the Eagles looking to execute here, certainly to try to get this game as close as possible, or perhaps even come away with the crazy comeback. But certainly need to be able to provide that foundation for them moving forward. Just playing with their guys, understanding what it is they need to do in order to be as effective as possible moving forward. And just over Braxton's hands, Cervantes now comes back down with that. And we're looking at some man pressure here from the Eagles. Kalu, Cervantes now looking, showed pick, didn't end up with that. And with 4 left on the shot clock, Kalu not able to get that to go, but the offensive board, go away with the block. And Bettinelli comes swooping in. And that one's going to get called against Lance Fig. And one opportunity, score is 68-46. 11:29 left in this game. That's going to be short, but then Thompson is going to come down with it. And Morgan Cox. And working through some clock issues here. And Kalu is going to be the one inbounding here. Delaney, as Coach Sisson got an extra second to think about that one. Delaney coming back in on 4 fouls right now, as memory serves. And so he'll need to play within himself for sure, while at the same time providing that defensive intensity. Good board by Zach Brown. Braxton now. And the foul that sent Braxton really right to where we are at the scorer's table. Should have gotten a live in-game interview there or something like that. Is going to send Bosher to the line with a chance to add to the Eagles' tally. Bosher gets the first just to go.
Rebound, Black.
Jake Estep, the junior from Portland, Oregon, checked in just a second ago. And Bosher gets that one. Whittier with the timeout. Chance to reconvene. We'll see if there's any lineup changes coming out of this timeout or not. But an opportunity for the Poets to kind of set their plan for the last 11 minutes and 13 seconds. Ironically, I don't feel like this half has shown quite as much in the way of really cranking up that full court pressure on just about every Eagles offensive possession. And yet, this is the foul with the higher, the half rather, with the higher number of fouls. as there have been 16 whistled so far in about 8.5 minutes. So every 35 seconds or so, it's about maybe every other trip down the floor for a given team, the refs have seen something that has needed to be called. And so Whittier here, looks like they're pretty much running out the same lineup. We've got Cox, Thompson, Kalu, Estep, and Cervantes. Eagles responding pretty much with their same as well. Fig, Carnes, Bosher in the backcourt. Delaney and Brown as the front court players. And Estep, one of the taller men on the court right now, but kind of used as one of the players there to try to break the press. A little bit more height, able to pass over the defense. Carnes now working against Morgan Cox. Delaney against Estep. And Thompson feeds it out to Cox, who is going to miss the dunk attempt. Bosher looking against Cervantes and tried to kind of get the ball away from the defender's hands, but a little bit too much juice on that one and not able to get that one there. Brown with the good tip away. Fig working his way through pressure. Thought better of trying to push it too hard and resettles. Now Carnes from just inside the line. And the Eagles not able to buy a jumper here tonight. It's been a tough shooting night for them. Maybe some tired legs, maybe some good defensive pressure. But if coach is going to have them do any drills in practice in the next couple of days, we might be seeing some full court press as Cervantes comes away with it there. And some shooting drills as really the biggest areas that have bitten the Eagles tonight. Delaney now working against Cox. Out to Brown from three. Splashes that one. If memory serves, the first three of this half, which would make it just the second for the Eagles in this game, though not for lack of trying. Delaney dances. Braxton lays it in. And a good response by the Eagles after Cervantes' steal and lay-in. 73-53. Eagles facing the 20-point deficit so far. And Delaney leaning in, but wasn't going to leave his feet there with 4 fouls. Did a good job of contesting as much as possible. Thompson now going to get it and is going to just get that one up and over. Seemed a little bit in two minds of whether to go up for the dunk after his teammates' attempted hammer did not fall, or whether to just lay that one in. Whichever one he thought he was going to do, he got just enough on it to make it happen there. Whittier up 77-53 as a tired Eagles squad not quite able to find the way through, at least in terms of their jump shot so far. Had some success taking it inside. Probably Braxton Bosher leading the way in that regard so far tonight. A couple of and one opportunities. But while sometimes we talk about doing all of the little things in order to get a win, and by that we essentially mean everything else but just making shots is good. Finding those offensive rebounds and those passing lanes and that communication on defense and all of that. Sometimes you just got to make the shots as well, and that's been trickier for them here tonight. Braxton working it around to Ethan, who looks. Now it's back and forcing them into just a straightforward defense. Just a little bit deep. And that one is going to get called as a shooting foul there. And so that one's going to be an on-the-floor foul. Still shooting because of the bonus situation. But that was not on Wesley's 3, but rather from the floor. Whittier shuffling their rebounding responsibilities. Karn swishes the first. And is going to make that 2 for 2. Dobson coming in for Cervantes. And so mixing up the looks that the Eagles are going to face here with the Whittier lineup. Zach Brown gets that steal, gets it up to Braxton. Good defense by Estep, slows it down for a second. But Braxton to Carnes, that one's going to be a bit short. Ethan gets the save. And a great hustle play by Amari Smith. I don't even know if he thought he could actually get the block there, but he at least took a shot at it, and in the chaos was able to get that there. Eagles keeping their heads up, keeping the energy up, go right back onto the defensive end, and are able to scrap around, and we end up with a travel. Smith gets the hand down, a steal on a low pass, and that one is going to end up with Ethan. They're on the run. Looked over to Brown, kind of pulled in the defense's attention a little bit, cut it back a little bit to Lance Fig, and that shot's just going to end up a bit short. Dobson down the lane, not able to get that one up and over. Now it's to Brown. Fig, Bosher, and lays that one in with the left hand. 7.5 left, scores 77-57. Our first half margin was 25. I don't know that it's gotten quite to that amount. Maybe it did one time, but it stayed right around that 20-point mark. Bosher working against the shorter Dobson. Now Morgan Cox at 6'4", working up against Ethan. And the last jump went to Whittier. And so now staying the West Coast direction. But you saw Ethan there a little frustrated, was trying to work through that and not end up tied. $79-57 here with 6:55 left in this game. We will find out if the Eagles can cut this deficit down here in the last 7 minutes. Team's coming back out on the court, but waiting for the McDonald's for a Year contest to conclude. I don't know if college students need to be able to eat McDonald's every week for a year, but Ben will have the opportunity to find out. Coach Sisson is immediately scouting him for his chance to hit a jump shot. Seeing a little bit of rotation here. Austin Pace coming into the game for Ethan Delaney. Ethan on 4 fouls and soaking up minutes for this team on a regular basis. We got a double here. Fig works it over to Brown. He gets up, grabs onto that well. Had to start pulling it down with just one hand. And Smith is away Fig comes over for the contest, but they're not going to see a foul. Smith is going to see a bucket. Bosher here working with Pace and Brown, probably the two forwards if you were to frame the lineup that way. The guys down there to help him out. A little bit more size, maybe to be able to pass over the press instead of trying to dribble through it. Pace gets the hand up. Thompson not able to get the shot he was probably looking for. And yet Dobson now going to get to his left and put that one in. And Bosher working against number 12, Morgan Cox. Fig now comes up with a chance to keep facilitating. Brown to Carnes, Carnes to Bosher, Bosher to Pace. And the 6'3" Amari Smith was lurking there. The defense didn't really rotate to the guys with the ball, but enough guys were coming that the ball had to keep moving, and he was able to find where it was going to end up. Gets to the Eagles. 5:22 here, 83-57. And Pace is going to be the inbounds target. Bosher now working up against Smith. Pace looking up, finds Brown. And look to make an off-ball run, but then pulls back out to three when that doesn't hit. Spacing the floor for the Eagles, but not able to get that to go. Smith lays that up with his left. And Pace to Bosher. Inbounds it again. Bosher looking off E-step. A little bit of tricky positioning there. But Bosher coming down with the steal will get it back for the Eagles after the miss. Fig, Carnes, and 18 on the shot clock. They're just going to reset their plan here. Bosher a little short on that. Manor Hall, the closest defender, but without an Eagle there in the corner. No real need for him to sprint after that one. And so the Whittier Poets with a chance to reset here. Bosher coming off for Delaney. And Dobson going to go deep. Fig almost gets it. Instead, that's going to be number 13, Nick Manor Hall, able to put it down. Carnes around E-step. Pace coming back for it. Carnes throwing it down. And that one is going to end up back in the Eagles' bucket. E-step getting that. Manor Hall puts it down there as well. And the Eagles had been really keeping it around that 20-point margin. It is out to 34 after a couple of possessions had gotten away from them here. Carnes taking it down inside. That's going to be a foul. Carnes with a chance to shoot. But really even just over the last couple of minutes here, getting away from the Eagles a bit. Ironically, a larger roster, sheerly by number of names, than Whittier has. But it feels like every player from Whittier has been chipping in pretty consistently, while you've got some players for West Coast that aren't always the ones on the court as much. One of those players, Jacob Castro, a sophomore from Vancouver, British Columbia, going to enter the game for the first time. But he's coming in for the shooter, it looks like. And so Castro coming in for Carnes. Coach Mark Jensen for Whittier College. Taking a timeout here. And so we'll see if Coach Sisson keeps relatively a similar lineup out as he's been playing with here, or if he takes the opportunity to get down into some bench players, maybe some others as well as Jason, that aren't necessarily logging big minutes here. Give him a chance at some game time. That said, with Whittier really leaning into the press for much of the game, even with their second lineup, even with some of those reserves, we'll see if Coach Sisson just kind of plans to play this one out with a relatively full-strength lineup in order to maintain some of those lead ball handlers on the court. The next game that we'll be bringing to you from here at West Coast is going to be next Friday, a week from today. And we are excited to share that opportunity with you from here in the Walther Center. Eagles will get a little bit of a chance to rest up without other games until then. These Eagles, as student athletes, also excited to get off classes on Monday and Tuesday here, because even more than just being student athletes, these are young men looking for what Lord has for them, in many cases training for ministry. We're excited about our World Impact Conference Sunday through Tuesday, and so offloading some classes from the schedule in order to facilitate taking advantage of the opportunities they'll get in this conference to hear about what we're focused on here at West Coast. Training laborers for the harvest. It's not just something that we put on a logo somewhere or some letterhead. That's something that we believe in. And so a chance for them to rest a bit from athletics, rest a little bit from academics, and re-engage with that mission over the next couple of days ahead. But we are excited to be back in game action a week from tonight here from the Walther Center. Coach Sisson calling the timeout here, and it's possible that this is where we're going to start seeing some substitution. But regardless, he saw something he wanted to work through with the guys. You can't roll the timeouts over to the next game, so you may as well take advantage of them while you've got them. Get some live game action to be able to troubleshoot, be able to teach, drawing some stuff up for the guys right now. And these guys are walking back out on the court, pretty much all the same faces that you just saw from both sides. Manor Hall, Cox, Dobson, Baga, and Bettinelli for Whittier. Goe, Fig, Pace, Castro that we highlighted coming into the game, and Delaney as the Eagles on the court right now. Castro working around with it. Now Goe getting it against the shorter Dobson. Delaney, and a shot clock violation. I don't know that the Eagles caught where the shot clock was coming out of the timeout. I think this is our first shot clock violation of any kind tonight, here with just about 2 minutes left. Bogging out of Bettinelli. Works around, looked at the three, but able to swish that one from mid-range. Fig working against Baga. Good presence of mind. Gets that to David. Keeping the man on his back, now working face up against Bettinelli. Kicks that inside. Fig to Pace. And that's going to miss there. Castro comes up and contests, but as much as anything to delay the ball coming back up the court. Ethan is going to get it here. Baga behind him, but now has to go find his actual marker. Fig works that one in nicely. Hits it kind of from the corner of the free throw line. Dobson, Baga. Hits from outside, the only player with multiple three-point makes in tonight's game. Unless I'm missing someone from the Whittier side. I believe that it is only him. Delaney on defense here as we are just about to the minute mark. Whittier at 99. They're going to see if they can get to 3 digits. Pace against Baga, now switching it over to Fig. He's going to take that in, and a chance to hit the century mark from the charity stripe.
Foul number 30, Fig. Third personal foul. Go to line for Whittier, number 5. Pedal Baga. 2 shots.
David Adlet at the scorer's table for West Coast, and so the possibility that he will be the final substitute of the night for Coach Sisson, unless he has other plans for the last 54.8. And Baga's going to go to 101 for Whittier. With that, he'll check out at that mark with the freshman Sean Cervantes coming in to see this one out at the guard positions for Whittier. Castro looking for his first bucket of the night. Fig just a little to the left there. And a scrum there. Both sides looking for the rebound. It's going to end up with Whittier. We've got what is probably, and the shot clock is going to turn off there. So we'll see. We've probably got one more possession by both teams, I'd guess, or something along those lines. Dobson and the 6'8" listed Tyler Waters is going to put that one down. 14.1 left. No, rather 16.2. Ref caught the clock. And Fig to Goe. We'll see. Goe pulls up a little bit deep, despite pulling up from so deep. And that will finish the game for tonight. Whittier College Poets 103. West Coast Baptist College Eagles 61. And we appreciate you joining us tonight. For those fans here cheering us on in the Walther Center, for every one of us, we know there's one of you at your homes or wherever you may be watching across our country and even around our world. And we appreciate you carving out a couple of hours from your night, especially for our friends on the East Coast, or potentially some time out of your morning, depending on where you might be joining us from. We're blessed to be part of the West Coast family and for the lineage of players, for the support network of families, and just the fellowship of friends from around the country and around the world joining us tonight. Again, your final score 103-61. Whittier on top this time. We'll be back next Friday, 1 week from today, from here in the Walther Center. I'm David Adams, signing off for now. We'll see you then.